Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going? How's the weather in DC?
Well, it's going great. Weather in DC is bad right now. It's cold
I
and
heard it was
rainy.
cold and rainy.
Yeah. I'm not used to the 40s. I know it's October, but geez, it's
I'm impressed
rough.
that I'm moving back to Atlanta.
Exactly. I heard y'all didn't even really get any rain from all
Mm-mm.
the hurricanes.
Nope.
So yeah, pretty lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, it was you remember Ty, so it was his birthday's coming up. And so he had a event this past Saturday, and we were kind of concerned about the weather. Nope. It was
Yeah,
clear and
it's
yeah,
perfect.
yeah. Well, let y'all take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw a movie that actually came out earlier this year, but I didn't realize until after I watched it and a few other things. But the movie is called The Outfit, and this is a movie starring Mark Rylance taking place in, I'd say, like right after World War II in Chicago. And Mark plays this English tailor that runs his tailor shop, but also has a mob family that comes in and drops off, it looks like, packages and monies that come in and out throughout the day and the time there. And one night, something happens with one of the mob members and they get shot, and they bring them to this tailor shop to kind of get them taken care of and to go into hiding from an incident. And we don't know too much about the incident at the moment, but that triggers a whole string of events that causes Mark the tailor to figure out how to navigate the situation to keep everyone safe, keep himself out of trouble, and everything like that. It's a pretty good thriller. It's streaming on Amazon Prime, but it's really a fun. It's only takes place really in this tailor shop, and you get a really good like back and forth. What happens when he has to stitch up someone, and then the mob boss comes by, and how do they navigate that situation? And a lot of good back and forth. So again, I thought this movie actually came out just recently, but it actually came out earlier this year, out in March. But definitely a good one that just fell under my radar, and I would highly recommend. The next couple things I saw is I started the Interview with a Vampire series on AMC Plus, and for any of those unfamiliar, it is literally like the title says. It follows someone interviewing a vampire, and they telling their story of how they were. This time it's kind of a reimagining from the original. If anyone remembers the Brad Pitt Tom Cruise movie from the 90s, this one takes place in 1910 in New Orleans, again with the coming up of this vampire who's chosen by someone else to be a part of this kind of vampire culture. Always seen about one episode, but so far it's pretty good. If you like that, and I never watched that vampire show that took place in New Orleans, like in the 2000s, that was really popular. But this has that kind of same feel, but it's also based on the Anne Rice novel, which was very memorable and has a lot of storylines going with it. And I know we might be past kind of that vampire phase in culture and pop culture, but uh, it's a good drama, and if you're looking for something like that, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to watch it yet, Chike.
Yeah, actually, that was the only thing that I watched this weekend. I got the fourth COVID shot, so I was down a little bit. So I knew that it was coming, and I saw that it was out, so I took advantage. And I think it's 2 episodes out. I
Mm-hmm.
saw 2. I think it's well done, and I
Yep.
think that the political elements that they're adding into it puts like more texture on it. I enjoy that. Like they're talking about racism. They're not ignoring like the things of today.
Mm-hmm.
He's in today's world speaking back on his past, and he's putting little tidbits in from today based on how he felt back then. And I
Yep.
think that it's interesting that they chose a man of color to be that character, because it adds a whole nother element to the story.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the person's played by Jacob Anderson, who is most famous for me for Game of Thrones. So if you remember Grey Worm,
Yeah.
then it's the same guy, and he does a great job. But you're right; it adds that extra layer of complexity to it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I just want to shout out that legend Ray Dawn Chong, who is Tommy Chung from Cheech and Chong's daughter, is also starring in this. She's a legend of stage and screen. If you don't know who she is, it was good to see her in the cast.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing more. See where they're going to go with it.
Yeah, it's getting rave reviews, and yeah, I will say this is not. And you can tell me your thoughts on this too, just as a sidebar. But at the beginning of the episode, they do give the warning,
Yeah.
of mental illness and suicide and stuff like that, which I think is great. The only thing is now I'm watching the whole episode wondering who's going to kill themselves, because it is a little bit of a spoiler. And you see it in the episode as it goes along. But when I'm watching, I wasn't too familiar with the story. I don't remember the movie. And so I was like, I know something's gonna happen to someone, but I don't know when. So again, I don't know the best way to navigate spoiler alerts in that sense, but that was one thing that kind of I was aware of while watching the first episode.
And then also too, I want to add that it is very graphic. Like I remember watching it, and I'm jolting some of the stuff that I'm seeing because it is very graphic. So even if it says mature audiences, I know some stuff says that, and it's not really that bad. Like this is pretty graphic. So
Yeah,
don't have your children watching the vampire movie.
exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna keep watching it because I think it'll be a really good series.
Well, have you watched any of the Dahmer movie?
No, my wife has, and she's been enjoying it, but I have not gotten to start it yet.
Okay, I'm looking for the one that comes out Friday. The Dahmer tapes. It comes out Friday. I want to hear in his own words what he did. I want to hear him talk about it.
Yeah, that would
They
be.
have the interviews on YouTube. I was watching some of them, and apparently his dad was on Oprah back in '94. I saw that interview, and then they had the victim. Was it victim statements? The victim statements in court, right? And do you remember in the series the one woman that went off?
Mm-hmm.
That was nothing compared to what she really did. Because I watched some of it is about 30 minutes long. I watched some of it. I was kind of fast forwarding to get to her. They had to get 4 security guards on her and everything. Like but you could see the raw emotions. You know what I mean? Because some people had statements written, and some just winged it. But it was all it was sad.
Yeah.
We were talking about this in Hot Topics that there's been some controversy over retelling this story because it triggers the families and things like that. And then there's some people saying, well, this is art and this is something that happened. And it could be serve as a cautionary tale to young people when they're going to clubs, meeting up with people that they don't know and, going to their homes and things like that. What's your take on that?
I mean, it's reality, right? It did really happen. People are aware of it. Retelling the story, I don't think is bad in that sense. I mean, we learn from history, right? There's a reason that, in one sense that the, Auschwitz and those concentration camps are open and people see them because you want to learn from the past. You don't ignore that. You have to bring it to light. And I know this is a TV show, so it's not as extreme as that. But I mean, it's an example of, there's the history there. So just be aware of it.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
Anything from
coming
you,
out of the
Steven?
pipeline? Anything else?
Anything from you?
Wakanda forever.
What'd you say?
Wakanda forever.
Yes,
Oh,
you
the
saw
new
the trailer
trailer.
was released today.
Yes.
And there's some speculation on who's going to take over the Black Panther the persona. So apparently in the comic books, the Black Panther, he goes into a coma. And while he's in coma, the smartest person in Wakanda takes over his that character, which is his sister.
Shuri.
And so they're thinking that if it's true to the comic book, she's going to take over as Black Panther in the new movie. So I'll be curious to see.
Well, in the poster, isn't she in the middle of the poster?
She is.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
She is.
Yeah. But yeah,
So-
I think.
I actually got into a debate over this last night, and it was with a really prominent actor who a lot of people know, but I won't say his name, but a lot of people know him. And we're both Marvel fans, and we were discussing what is more important, that you stay true to a story, you stay true to the character in the story, or do you pay homage to the actor that played that character in that story? And we were both in the agreement that they should have recast someone to play T'Challa outside of Chadwick Boseman to carry that story on, because the story is bigger than him. And this is to Chadwick Boseman, wonderful actor, may he rest in peace. But these are stories that people have grown up with in their childhood, and in certain instances, they want to see the story told the proper way. Don't augment it because you no longer have a person to play the character. You can recast. You recast Superman how many times?
Mm-hmm. They recast Blade. Yeah.
The legend of the Black Panther has to continue. Even in the story of the Black Panther dies, and then another Black Panther carries on. So I don't.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, you know. And apparently, the woman that plays his sister, she was saying that they asked about how was it shooting it while mourning Chadwick's loss, and she said that the director, he took from her real pain and put it into the character. So they were still kind of mourning it while shooting it, you know, mourning his loss. And so, but I see your point, Chike, that the character is bigger than Chadwick. Rest in peace, you know, and all due respect for him. But yeah, I'll be curious to see what they do with the next one. Not the sequel, but the next one, to see if they bring back a Black Panther character. Well, yeah, I didn't watch much. I started watching something on yesterday on Netflix, and I fell asleep on it, so I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, that's it for me. Well, listen, guys, thank you as always for letting us know what to spend our time and money on and what not to. And have a great week. And we'll be right back after this.
Thanks.